Why, hello everyone, Mr. Saturn here, and this is the first episode of Cooking with Mr. Saturn. So today, we're going to be making some breakfast bars. Have you ever had bananas like this? Oh, gross, look how brown those bananas are. We should throw them out. No, don't throw them out. You can use these to make amazing breakfast bars, and I'm going to show you how today. So our ingredients for today is we have our bananas. We're going to go with some oatmeal. We're going to go with some chocolate, some peanut butter, a little bit of vanilla, some baking powder, and we're going to throw in, I've got this, this is some plant-based protein. It's a chocolate peanut butter. And so we're going to kind of go with some bars that are going to have kind of like a chocolatey, peanut buttery, banana-y taste to them here today. So here we go. We're going to start with our dry ingredients. That's everything that's not going to be wet or mushy or slimy. We're going to put them all in this bowl. So we're going to start by getting 3 cups of oatmeal. So I got my cup here. So I just broke my cup here. Wow. They don't make them like they used to, everyone. But we can still use this piece. All right, here's 1 cup into my bowl. 2 cups into my bowl. And 3 cups into my bowl. Perfect. What other dry ingredients do we have? Well, we have some baking powder. This is just going to help us in that baking process. I believe we want to do, I don't know, about a half a teaspoon, something like that of this. So we just kind of sprinkle that all in. And then I'm gonna throw a curveball in there. I found this. And this is kind of one of those things when you're making breakfast bars. You can just kind of see what you got in the cupboard and you can throw anything in. And it kind of works out. So I found this Hershey's Cocoa naturally unsweetened. So I'm gonna throw this in here to give us a little extra chocolatey flavor. So we'll go like that. Just give us, maybe 1 more. Doesn't need to be perfect. And then we are going to throw in a couple scoops of our protein mix. Protein is a good thing, helps build muscles, helps maintain muscles. So this is all a plant-based protein, mostly made of pea protein is what most plant-based proteins are made of. And so I'm going to put in about 4 scoops of this. It's going to give us about 40 grams of protein that we added to it. All right, so now I'm just going to get a fork and I'm just going to mix up all my dry ingredients just like this. Perfecto, perfecto, yummy. Look at that. Oatmeal with powder on it. We're not done yet. Okay, now we're going to go with all of our wet ingredients. So our bananas, since they're going to be kind of mushy and stuff, that's going to be some of our wet ingredients. So we peel our banana, and when you have bananas that are like this, you can see most of it looks fine, but you have this little piece, maybe you want to get rid of that. So I'm just going to take it off, break it up in there, get my next banana. And really these bananas, since they're so old, they're going to be so extremely sweet, we're really not going to have to add any sugar to this at all, and it's going to be just perfectly sweet, and it's going to be all natural sugars, which is going to be great for us, because we don't want to add too much sugar to anything we eat, because, well, let's just face it, sugar's not very good for you. So, here we go, couple more, boom, 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 boom. Oh, you hear Micaiah in the background, he's singing along, boom, 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 Micaiah. All right, throw that away. I'm gonna wash my hands a little bit. I got slimy bananas on there. Then I'm going to take my fork and I'm just going to smash this all up. So I've got these bananas. One nice thing about when you have bananas that are this ripe is they smash pretty darn easily. And we're going to make this almost into like, I don't know, kind of like a banana paste or a banana mush. Oh yeah, look at that. Smashed bananas. It's good. Okay, so we do this. Just get nice and smashed. Kind of spread it all around here. Good, good, good. Good, good, good. Okay, so now it looks something like that. It's all smashed up, and that's gonna work good for us. So we're gonna add a couple more wet ingredients now. I'll be right back. Right, so I didn't mention we're actually going to add some eggs too, more protein, and just eggs are good for you. So I got some eggs here from good old Costco, my favorite place to go. So we'll put those on in. And then we are going to add some milk to this. We're going to add some milk to this as well. Mostly just because the oats, like oatmeal, it soaks up all the liquid you put in here. So we need to make sure we have plenty of liquid in here, just to make sure that we don't have like a really dry thing. We want it to be nice and moist. So I've just got some almond coconut milk here. I like to do plant-based stuff as much as possible. So I'm just gonna mix all this up real fast. Get my eggs all in there nicely, mixed together with my bananas and my milk. And I'm gonna, one more thing I'm gonna add to this. This is just some vanilla extract. It just gives it a little added flavor. You do not want to put a lot of this in because it's extremely powerful. So you put a lot in, it's just going to overwhelm everything else. But if we just put just a little bit in there, it's going to give us a little added vanilla-y taste, which is going to be really good. Perfect. Now, I told you we were going to use peanut butter. Here's the deal with peanut butter. It's kind of liquidy, but it's kind of not. And it really doesn't mix together very well. So what we're going to do with our peanut butter today is we're going to heat it up to make it more liquidy so we can mix it up with everything else a lot easier. So basically I've got my pan here. I'm going to turn on to, let's just say, medium heat. I'm going to get a spoon. And I'm just going to start putting some peanut butter in this pan. About 2 nice big old spoonfuls here. We're just going to heat this on down. No. I love peanut butter. So we're going to put peanut butter in here. It's going to make everything a lot creamier. It's got a lot of fat in it, but healthy fat. So we're just going to put that in here, and we're just going to let it cool on down. I'm going to turn it down to about a low, medium heat. I think that will work well for what we need it to. I'm just going to shake that around as it goes. It's not going to take it very long to heat on down. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and add my wet mixture into my dry mixture. And then I'm going to mix it all up. Num num. And I mean, this does not look very appetizing right now. I get that, okay? But I guarantee you it's going to be delicious when we are done with it. Okay? Just mix this all up. This looks like a pretty good consistency to me. Usually you'd be following a recipe. I've made this so many times that I think I've got the recipe about down. I kind of just do my own thing. With cooking, it's fun. Usually when you're cooking, like on stovetop or barbecue, you can kind of mess around with stuff. Usually when you're baking though, and you're using flour and lots of stuff like that, making a cake or something like that, you really do need to be really precise with your measurements of how much is in there. But with something like this, not all that necessary. So let me get a pan here. Let's check our peanut butter. It is getting there. Just give this a nice little stir in here. Try to get it to cook down a little bit quicker. Now, pop question. I just used this to mix up my oatmeal. Now I've used it in my peanut butter. Would it be okay for me to take a bite here? Should I eat this right now? No. Because I use that to mix up in here. And what do I have in this mixture that probably is not a good idea for me to eat raw? I'm just going to say it's not a good idea for you to eat raw. Be the eggs, right? We put raw eggs in here, and you shouldn't eat raw eggs. And so could still be some of that left on our fork. I can use this to go ahead and stir my peanut butter up because it's all going to get cooked anyway. It's going to get cooked with the eggs. So not really a big deal, but I just need to be mindful and make sure I'm not, as tempting as that is, trying to lick my fork right now. All right, so that is all coming along. I will get my pan. We're going to do a 9x13. Here we go. Yummy, yummy. And we're going to make sure we give this a really good spray. And I believe I left my spray. Oh, no. Here it is. It's right here. So when we spray a pan, when you're baking anything like this, you got to make sure you're doing this really good or else it's going to stick right to your pan. So I give it a little extra there. Boom, boom. Here we go. Well-greased pan. Put that right there. In the meantime, we're getting close here, so I'm going to go ahead and turn my oven on to 350. And I think my peanut butter is just about done here. Oh yeah, see? See that? Kind of nice and liquidy in there now. So when I go to pour this in, which I think I can right now, look at that. It's going to mix together so much nicer than if I didn't do anything to it. It would still be pretty clumpy in there if I didn't do anything to it. I'm going to get a spatula so I make sure I get all this delightful peanut butter on out of here. Spatula. Peanut butter. Whoa, what was that? Okay. All right, we got that down. All right, turn our stovetop off. Now I'm going to give this another good mix in here. Num, 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 num. Now we've got chocolate peanut buttery goodness here. So now I'm going to take this, get rid of this. I'm going to just go ahead and put it right in here to my pan. Da, 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 da. I like to just kind of sing to myself when I'm doing this. It's fun. Get my spatula back and get all this stuff out. Now I'm gonna go ahead and spread it on out here so it's even in my pan. All right. So that is looking good. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take I got some dark chocolate chips here that we just had around. I'm just gonna spread these all on top. Well, try to spread them evenly. And that's going to give it this nice chocolatey. It's going to add to the chocolate. Going to melt in there all nice. Nummy, nummy, nummy. Try to make sure we get enough on every single piece here. Alright. And then if you wanted to add any frozen fruit or anything like that, you could do that right now too. I might, I got some cherries from Costco also here, so I'm going to add these, maybe half of it, just to see what it turns out like, because I mean, I just like to mess with stuff. So I'm just going to take my cherries, stick them down on in there, see how it turns out. And just do this for maybe a quarter of it, just so we know if this is something we want to do next time. I like to experiment when I cook. It's a lot of fun. All right, so now we've got that. We're done, and we're just ready to go ahead and stick it on in the oven. We're going to go for right around, I think, 25 minutes. And I'll be back in 25 minutes to show you the finished product. Just pulled our breakfast oatmeal bars out of the oven. And what I want to do is kind of, if you've ever made brownies, you take a fork and you stick it in there to kind of see what it's looking like. Is it too moist yet? Is it firming up? That's where this baking powder really comes in and helps it to kind of become cake-like in a way. And it's still a little bit runny and gooey for me, so I'm going to stick it back in for maybe 5-6 more minutes, and then we'll see what it looks like. Tastes good though. Alright, so my timer has went off. I'm checking it again. It's pretty darn clean when I pull that out. It's not bad. I think if we just let it rest here for a little bit, it's going to be about perfect. So I'm going to let this cool down, and then I will show you what it all looks like, and I will eat it when we get back. Alright, so these have cooled off a little bit. I'm going to just cut off a little chunk of one so you can see what this looks like. Check that out right there. That is chocolatey. And I taste the peanut butter in there. And a little hot still. But, whoo, that's good. So that is a fairly healthy thing I make. And that will be my breakfast probably for the rest of the week. And I made that all for, I don't know, probably $1, maybe $2.